Hello guys, in this video we will learn how to create MySQL instance on Google Cloud, and in the second part we'll learn how to connect MySQL instance on Google Cloud from MySQL Workbench on your local system. So let's get started. And but before we get started, I think there are some assumption I have made, which is basically already have Google Cloud account, and so you just need to set up and be ready with that. So that's a pre-requirement. And I think other suggestions I have that generally you get some free credit from Google, but if you are not using this particular instance, I would strongly recommend you delete the instance if you don't need it. And whenever otherwise there may be charges may get accumulated. So just be conscious about that. Otherwise, all good. So what you need to do is you need to type cloud.google.com/SQL. Similar screen will appear. Then what you need to do is you go to console. It will so in this, in my case, I have launched already have two instances created. What you need to do is you need to create instance. For you, it might be empty. So you click on create instance, select MySQL, and what you need to do is you need to give name of the instance. So uh, MySQL learning 2. And here's your the username is root, and password you can give whatever password you find it relevant. You can generate as well. And there are some options you can select by default, and then you can click on create. Once you click on create, it will take you to next screen, where it might take a couple of minutes before instance gets created for you. So we'll just take a pause, and we'll wait for this instance to be created. So now you will see the green tick mark is there. So now instance is ready for us to use. So what you need to do now is you just need to copy the IP address, and possibly you can save into your notepad. So this is the IP address of the MySQL instance on Google Cloud. Next one, what we need to do is we need to enable access of this particular MySQL instance from your local system. And to do that, what we need to do is we need to enable port for that. If you go to connections, so now you will find there is option of public IP, and what you need to do is you need to allow access of this instance from any any particular IP address, right? So what you need to do is you need to find IP address of your local system. So there is option called or where to do it, stackip.amazonaws.com. If you click that, it will give you IP address of your local system. Just copy that. You need to go back to your instance, and if you click on add network, you can give any name. So that's it, run. And what you need to do is you need to type IP address and say done, and you need to save. If you want to allow from multiple IP address, you can do that as well. And keep in mind that every day your IP address might change, and if you were to use that, you need to come here and update, edit the address. You need to update the IP address, and then only it will allow. Otherwise, it will give you an error. So it might take a couple of seconds or a few seconds before it saves that IP address. And once it's done, it is all set. So your that update happens. So what we have done is we have launched MySQL instance, and we enable access requests coming from a particular IP address. And this is what my IP address of my local system. So now we are all set from setting up setting up MySQL instance on the Google Cloud. Next one is what we need to do is we will be using MySQL Workbench. So you just type on MySQL Workbench download, then you follow the instruction, and you install MySQL Workbench on your laptop. Once you do that, you can search here MySQL Workbench, just open. And once you open MySQL Workbench, so what will happen is you will be able to see this particular screen. So just give me a sec. So when you install and open MySQL Workbench from your local system, this similar to this screen will be coming. Of course, there are few options for my local MySQL Workbench, but for you it might be an empty. So what you need to do is MySQL connection. So here connections, you need to click on plus, and when you click that, what it will ask you is what name you will be giving. So you can say MySQL learning, any name you can give for it is for your reference, my learning 2. And what we need to do is we need to give a host name. Host name is nothing but IP address of MySQL instance on Google Cloud. So if you recall, I have saved that. I will copy that and I will paste here. Next one is so I will go to test connections. Just keep in mind the username is root by default, and this is what we have kept there. When you click on test connection, it will ask you for password. Whatever password you said you have created when you were launching a MySQL instance, the same password you need to use there here. You can click on OK, and so see here, successfully made connection, so which is good. So it now the local MySQL Workbench is connected with the MySQL instance on Google Cloud. And if you click on OK, you will find one more button is created here, MySQL Learning 2. If you click here, so now we have MySQL instance ready for us to proceed further on learning. But now what we have done here is how to create MySQL instance on Google Cloud, how to basically connect MySQL Workbench to a Google Cloud instance, or MySQL instance on Google Cloud. That is it for this particular video. In next video, what we are going to learn is how to create a database instance, how to create multiple tables on this particular instance, and possibly import CSV files and upload those into a various different tables. So that's going to be next video. Thanks for now.